It's time for Alphabet Adventure. My name is Miss Sandy. I have our featured letter up here on the board. Do you see what it is? It's the letter S. That's right. We have uppercase S and lowercase s up here on the board. And today our program is called S is for our senses. So we're going to be learning about our 5 senses in the program today, as well as the letter S. So let's talk about our S. You can see we have uppercase or capital S and lowercase s, and they look the same, don't they? And so the way that we make them is going to be the same. When you make an S, you can put your finger up like it's your pencil. You're going to start up here and you're going to curve up and around, and then you're going to curve back down and around. It kind of looks like a snake, doesn't it? So we're going to go up and around and back down and around. And it's the same for the lowercase, it's just a little smaller. Okay, so S says the sound S, like you hear in snake. Can you say that sound? S. It's also the sound you hear at the beginning of the word summer, because we are in summer right now, right? And so I was trying to think of other words that start with the letter S that have to do with summer. So I brought my sand bucket. Sand starts with the letter S. And what do you see on here? Sunglasses. There are lots of S's in sunglasses. Do you hear all those sounds? Yep. All right, let's see if we can come up with some other summer words that start with the letter S. I have this one. What's he doing? This boy is swimming, isn't he? So swim or swimming starts with the letter S. Now if you go to the beach, you might find some of these. Seashells. Seashells starts with the letter S. Or maybe you'll find one of these on the beach or the sea at the seashore. Starfish. Yep. And finally, out in the water, you might see one of these sailing along a sailboat. Good. All right, so those are our letter S words. Now, how about you? Do you have a name that starts with the letter S? My name does. Miss Sandy has an S at the beginning, and maybe you do too, or maybe somebody in your family does. See if you can think of some other words that have that S sound in them. Okay, well, like I said, we are going to be learning about our senses. Now, do you know what your senses are? Our senses are how we learn about the world around us. And we have 5 senses. So we're going to do this little poem to help learn about our senses, okay? So what do you see here? It's a bird, right? If it's a bird you want to hear, you have to listen with your, what do you listen with? With your ear. That's right. Hearing things is one of the ways we learn about the world around us. We listen, we hear for different sounds. Okay, how about this? Here's our sand bucket. If you want to dig in the sand, you hold the shovel with your, what do you hold things with? With your hand. Yes. Touching things, holding things, that's another one of our senses and how we learn about the world around us. All right, what do we see here? If you want to see this airplane in the skies, you have to open up your eyes. Yes, looking around and seeing things is another way that we learn about our world, isn't it? If you want to sniff a lily or a rose, you have to smell through your, what? Your nose. Yes, smelling things is also how we learn about things, because different things have different smells, don't they? Now this last one is probably my favorite. East, west, north, and south. To eat or to taste this sweet treat, you must use your mouth. Right, our tongue and our mouth help us to taste things. And that's another way we learn about the world around us. So these are our 5 senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hearing, touching and feeling, seeing, smelling, and tasting. Okay, so we are going to be looking at all different ways we can use our senses as we go throughout our program today and as you just go throughout the world in your day-to-day life. All right, so we are going to read this book. It's summertime, like I said, and many people go to the beach during the summer. So I thought this would be a good one to share with you. It's called Your Senses at the Beach. So we're going to read how we can use our senses to experience the beach. And this book is by Kimberly M. Hutmacher and Gail Saunders-Smith. Off to the beach. Get ready to feel the warm sand and smell the salty air. Today we will use our 5 senses at the beach. All right, what we see. What are some things that you would see at the beach? Look all around. Miles of brown sand. Do you see the sand? And how about the blue water? Do you see that? That's all we're seeing, all of that with our eyes. Colorful umbrellas line the shore. Do you see anything else in that picture? I see some chairs. I see some mountains in the background, maybe some green trees. What else? Look, see a sailboat catch the wind. Do you see the sailboat? And look, there's also a cruise ship out there. Watch people relax in the sun. I see some tents also. All right, let's talk about what we hear at the beach. Can you think of some things that you would hear? Sounds fill the air. What do you hear? Do you hear people laughing? Dogs barking? Listen, do you hear the waves crashing and the seagulls screaming? Those are all sounds that we would hear if we were at the beach right now. What we touch. Let's think about what we feel and touch at the beach. Feel the hot sun on your skin, right? The gritty sand as it sticks to your hands and feet, and feel the cool water as it washes it off. What we smell. Sniff, sniff. The smell of salt, fish, and seaweed is everywhere. And you know what else you can smell at the beach? Sunscreen. Sometimes sunscreen smells like coconut or other summery smells. Those are some other things you would smell if you were at the beach. All right, here's our favorite, what we taste. Let's get a snack on the boardwalk. What do you see in this picture that you could taste? Some French fries. How do you think they would taste? Salty. And what's on it? Ketchup. Ketchup tastes sweet and tangy. Time for a cold treat. Flavored ice, just like our day, tastes just like our day, sweet. You might also be able to get ice cream at the beach. So other fun things like that that you can taste and enjoy at the beach. All right, and that is the end of our book, 5 Senses at the Beach. Now we are going to play another little game with our senses. I brought another sand bucket, and in here I filled it with things that we can use our senses to experience. So I'm going to pull them out, and I want you to tell me which senses you would use to experience these items. So first of all, what do you see here? This is a monkey puppet, right? Can we see him? Yes, we can see him. Can we feel him? Yes, I can feel his soft fur. Can we smell him? He doesn't really smell because he's a stuffed animal, but I bet if you smelled a real monkey, he might have a smell to him. How about, can you hear him? Yes, yes, you can hear my monkey puppet, and if you were near a real monkey, you could hear him chatter. So, but we wouldn't want to taste this one, would we? No. So we would not use our sense of taste for that. All right, how about this one? Which senses would you use? What is this? First of all, you can see it. It's an orange, right? You can touch it and feel it. It's got a little bit of a bumpy skin. Can you smell it? You know what? I bet if we cut it open and smelled the juicy flavor inside, you could smell it. Can you eat it? Yes, absolutely, you can eat it. It doesn't make much sound though. We really don't hear an orange. How about this one? We talked about this earlier, sunscreen. We can certainly see it and feel it. I can feel the bottle, but also if you open it up and squeeze it out, you can feel the lotion on your skin. Would not want to taste this, would you? But you can smell it. Some sunscreens have a really good summer smell. Okay, and it doesn't really make much sound, does it? No. All right, I got this. What is this? This is a candle. Of course, we can see the candle, right? You see it's red, and if you light it up, it's got a flame that you can see flickering there, don't you? Now you can feel it. It's kind of smooth, a little bit waxy. Sometimes candles have smells, so you can smell it, but you would not want to eat the candle, would you? No. And the last thing I brought is this. Do you know what this is? It's a harmonica. It's a musical instrument. So again, we can see it. We can feel it. We don't want to eat it. We really can't eat it, and it doesn't really smell. But when you blow into it, it makes noise that you can hear. So we can use our sense of hearing with our harmonica. All right, good job. I hope you guessed some of those senses, right? We're going to go ahead and sing a song now, or do a song together. It's called the Five Senses Song, and it's by the Kiboomers. And in this song, we are going to do some simple motions as we practice our senses. So hopefully you'll listen along and join in with me. All right, here we go.
I have two eyes so I can see, and a nose to smell. I have 10 fingers that can touch. They do it very well. I have 2 ears so I can hear the birds up in the trees. I have a tongue inside my mouth to taste the food I eat. I have 2 eyes so I can see, and a nose to smell. I have 10 fingers that can touch. They do it very well. I have 2 ears so I can hear the birds up in the trees. I have a tongue inside my mouth to taste the food I eat. Apples. I have 2 eyes so I can see, and a nose to smell. I have 10 fingers that can touch. They do it very well. I have 2 ears so I can hear the birds up in the trees. I have a tongue inside my mouth to taste the food I eat.
So I'm going to show you some ideas now for how you can continue learning about your senses at home. If you come by the library in our children's department or drive-up window, you can pick up a packet. It looks like this, and inside will be some materials and instructions and ideas for things that you can do at home to continue learning about your senses. One of the things you'll see in there is this yellow sheet. It kind of gives an outline of what we did in our program, and then it tells you how to use these materials when you're at home. But I'm also going to show you some of that now. So some other things you'll find in there, I always like to put a letter practice sheet so you can practice writing your letter S. There's also a math sheet where you can practice your numbers. You'll see all the numbers out like listed, and then you have all the number words, and then you have boxes with different numbers of items in there. So you're going to cut them all out and try to match them up. So this is the number 7, but this word does not say 7. You need to cut them up and see if you can find the number that says 7, and then you need to find the box that has 7 items in it, and you can match them all up. So you can color it, cut it out, and then have fun matching those up and practicing reading your numbers and counting and all of that. Another sheet that's in there is this senses match. So you're going to match the senses, each of the senses with one of these items, how you can best experience them. And as you saw in our game, we can see a lot of them. So you want to pick the sense that you can best experience that item. So for example, up here at the top is a donut. We can certainly see a donut. We could smell a donut, but what's the best way to experience a donut? It's to taste it, right? So you're going to decide which is the best way to experience each of these items and match them up. Another item in here is a 5 senses scavenger hunt. And I would encourage you on a nice summer evening or during the day, if you have some free time, grab the sheet and go take a walk in your neighborhood or downtown. see how many of these things you can experience with your senses and cross them off. So we've got some rocks. Can you find some rocks to feel them? Or a bird. Can you see if you can spy a bird somewhere and hear it chirping? Maybe you can go and taste some ice cream or hear a dog barking. So see how many of those things you can cross off when you take a walk next time. All right, I also have a couple crafts. So I'm going to show those to you. You should have all the materials for them. You might need some glue, tape, scissors, that sort of thing. The first one is this 5 senses headband. So there are 2 long strips of paper that you will tape or staple together at the very end. And then there is also a sheet with eyes, nose, and ears. You can color those and cut them out. There's a pink paper to cut out a tongue shape, and there's a half sheet where you can put your hands on and trace them and color them and cut them out. Then you're going to put them all on that long strip, and when they're all attached, you can measure around your head and glue or staple to make a little 5 senses headband, and you've got all your 5 senses represented there. The other craft is a 5 senses bear. So you have all the supplies for this as well. There's a circle for the head and for the ears and the paws, smaller circles. And then you're going to glue on each item, each part of the 5 senses, or stick them on. There's some googly eyes so the bear can see. There's a cotton ball for his nose, and we smell with our noses, right? So you could spray a little perfume or air freshener on there if you have it. There's a little pink paper that you can cut out a tongue shape and glue it on, and there's a marshmallow that you can stick on there because we would taste with our tongues, right? There's 2 little jingle bells that you can stick on the ears for hearing, and there's some soft yarn that you can cut into little pieces that you can stick on the paws for touch and feel. And there's also a title there for that. All right, this next idea you will need some things from home for. It is a popcorn booklet. And this is an idea for how you can use all 5 of your senses to experience popcorn. So the paper will look like this. You will cut out the rectangles and staple them together like this. And this is the title page, My 5 Senses and Popcorn. Then, if you have popcorn at home, go ahead and with Mom or Dad's help, pop some popcorn and see how you can experience it with your 5 senses. So, first of all, what does it look like? What does it look like before it's popped? What does it look like after it's popped? Talk about it, and if you want to, you can write that in your little book. Also, what does it sound like when it's popping or when you're crunching it as you eat it? How does it feel? How does it smell? Because we all know popcorn has a really good smell, right? And how does it taste? So that's a fun way where you can use all 5 senses to experience popcorn. And then these other ideas are things that are not in your packet, but they're ways you can practice your senses. Mom or Dad, you can help your children with this. If you have some plastic eggs, you can fill them with different items. Have your child shake and see if they can decide what is in each egg. So for example, I put some Legos inside one, so you can listen to that. And then in this one, I have some coins. You can hear the difference they make and see if your kids can guess what's inside. And then this is also another little guessing game to use your fingers for feeling. You can put some items inside for your child to guess, and they can kind of reach around and see, okay, I feel something, it's smooth, it's round, but there's some indents. Oh, it's an apple. And oh, let's see, I feel something else. It's hard and long and skinny. It's a crayon. So there's some suggestions on your sheet of items you can put in there. You can get creative and just see if you can help your kids play that fun guessing game. So that's all I have today for our S is for Senses program. I hope you had fun learning about your senses, and I hope you'll go out now and practice using them and seeing all the ways you can use your 5 senses to learn about the world around you. And I hope I will see you back at the library again soon. Bye-bye.